Oh, hello, and welcome back to another exciting episode of the Backed by Bone podcast. As always, I am your host, Chris, aka Don Burgundy on the internet. What is going on? Episode 45 here. Messed up a little bit because I didn't do an episode last week. My bad. And I didn't get my week one NFL picks in, but that's okay because I probably would have been way off anyway. But let's jump right into it. Got a lot to talk about. UFC 293, Israel Adesanya versus Sean Strickland. Um, did not go the way that anyone expected it to. I came in on the prelim card with the Jamie Mullarkey John McDessie fight. It was alright, kind of boring. I did watch the Jack Jenkins Stipe Mariscal fight. That was pretty good. Stipe ended up breaking or dislocating Jack Jenkins' elbow on like some kind of toss. He was like it's like a judo toss, judo throw kind of deal. But that was a pretty good fight up until that point. I did see the Carlos Earl Olberg Jung Dun fight. It was pretty good. Carlos was kind of dictating the majority of the fight in terms of taking the center of the octagon, but excuse me, but he ended up winning via submission. Does it say what kind of submission that he won by? No, it doesn't. Yeah, as you can see, he was kind of beating him on the feet as well. Um, got him with the knockdown, more strikes, more significant strikes as well. Um, and only one submission attempt. And then I came in on the main card. Um, the Tyson Pedro fight, I watched that. That was pretty good. I did not expect him to finish it that quickly. I mean, fight was over pretty quick, so I couldn't really give you a whole lot of breakdown on that one. The Justin Tafa Austin Lane fight was actually pretty good. Justin Tafa wins by knockout or TKO in the first round, minute and 22 seconds in. Fight was pretty quick. I mean, Austin Lane did look pretty good. He was throwing a lot of kicks and he had a lot of good form from a guy who came from the NFL, I believe. But Justin Tafa just came in there and he got in close, made it a dirty boxing fight, and then he kind of just hit him with, I think it was an overhand right. I don't remember 100%. But knocked him down. But Justin Taffa really that guy in the heavyweight division. Heavyweight division needs some new blood. The Manel Cape Felipe dos Santos fight was pretty good. It was a little bit of a snooze fest because it went to decision, but kind of it is what it is. It's a flyweight fight. Those guys were pretty fast and they were hitting each other with big hits, and none of them were going down. I went to sleep because I did not watch the co-main or the main event, which I should need to go back and watch. But apparently Alexander Volkov beat Tai Tuivasa by submission, which is pretty crazy because I feel like he's not really known for that. But holy, he outstruck the piss out of him. What the hell? 107 total strikes to 30s total strikes. What the fuck? I'll have to go back and watch that. And then obviously the Sean Strickland Israel Adesanya fight. I guess from what I heard, Sean Strickland just completely outclassed him. He just looked way better. 137 strikes to 94 strikes. 137 significant strikes to 94 significant strikes. No takedowns. I guess he was just putting on a clinic. I need to go back and watch this, but I did not expect that. I did tell one of my friends though. I was like, "Yo, if you want to actually try and make any money off of this, betting wise, you definitely should put money on Strickland because he was like a minus 600 dog or something like that. So if you put down like $5, you'd win like $30. So, is my math correct on that one? Whatever, don't look into it. But still, that was insane. I mean, like nobody expected Sean Strickland to win. So now I guess that really kind of opens up that middleweight division. Because if we take a look at the middleweight division now, who would be the next guy? Where's middleweight? Yeah, they still haven't updated yet. So there's a whole lot of people for Sean Strickland to fight. I mean, I know, where is he? Oh, he's not on here. He's not in the top 15. That's weird. My boy Hamzat would definitely fucking love to fight him. But now, I mean, you're going to see a lot of cool matchups that we haven't seen before. Um, or at least, I mean, if Strickland can keep the belt, you'll see a lot of cool matchups that we haven't seen before. Because I was even saying this yesterday too to one of my friends, is that I would love to see Robert Whittaker versus Sean Strickland. I think that would be a dope fight. Um, you mean Sean Strickland versus basically anybody? You know what I mean? It's just it opens up the division so much now that who knows what could happen. Um, and I'm just like excited to see what happens. Oh, there's Hamzat. He's in welterweight. I don't know why I thought he was in middleweight. Maybe he's in both. I don't know. Whatever. Does not matter. But and then Duplessis is there. I mean, he's injured, so he's probably not going to fight for the rest of the year. I mean, if anything, it didn't look like Strickland got a whole lot of damage. I mean, he could fight late at the end of this year against somebody. I mean, I think the fight to make right now is Robert Whittaker versus Sean Strickland, because if Whittaker gets the belt back, that would just be a cool ass storyline. But I guess maybe UFC wise, they might want to see somebody else. You know what I mean? Like, because Robert Whittaker's kind of been in there the entire time, so maybe they do like Strickland versus like Jared Cannonier or something like that. Because now the whole top five, it kind of messes everything up. So I'm not really sure what they're going to do for the rankings, and we'll see what happens. I mean, Sean Strickland, Kelvin Gastelum would be sick. I mean, some of these guys are kind of falling off, but like Derek Brunson, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's just a lot of these guys are kind of wrestling heavy, so it's like some of these guys will definitely just take them to the ground, like Jared Cannonier, Robert Whittaker, Marvin Vittori, even Paulo Costa, Derek Brunson, of course. Like, those guys could just probably take Sean Strickland right to the ground, but I don't know. I mean, it's exciting. I mean, now the middleweight division is now exciting, which they definitely needed, because it was just Israel Adesanya beating the piss out of everybody. So I didn't expect this to happen. I don't think many people expected this to happen. So um, definitely cool. Maybe after this, Israel moves on to a different division. Maybe he drops down to welterweight. That would be crazy. Or maybe he moves back up to light heavyweight. He'll fight Jan Blachowicz again. That'd be pretty cool. Him versus like Yuri would be sick. But I don't know if he's like, I think welterweight or middleweight, sorry, is like his bread and butter. So he probably won't do that. But I don't know. We'll see. Sky's the limit. But it definitely makes the UFC even more exciting now. And then just going back, let's look at the highlights of this really quickly. Where is the... Okay, stupid ads. Get this junk out of my face. Ooh. This was the first round. It was a couple of seconds into the first round. Sean Strickland just kind of fucking rocks him got him up against the fence, rocks him with a nice right hand, and then just gets him right to the ground and just kind of jumps all over him. Definitely wins the round off of this. I'm surprised it didn't get stopped, but he was applying the pressure. Holy moly. And then obviously the fight doesn't stop there. But, damn. Good for Strickland, dude. Good for him. I mean, whoever put money on him is fucking... Whew, he is probably fucking rich today. Alright, so then next is going to be a fight night between Alexa Grasso and Valentina Shevchenko. This card is pretty mid. I mean, the only like fights I actually want to see on the card are the main and the co-main, because Kevin Holland fighting Jack Della Mana. Jack Della Maddalena, whatever. That's like, those are the only two fights I really want to see in the card. Everything else is kind of, I mean, Daniel Rodriguez is, maybe he's not on the card anymore. That would have been cool. Everything else on here, kind of don't care. Keep an eye on this Roman Kopylov guy. He's on the middleweight on the prelim card fighting Josh Fremd. Roman, I think he's going to be a real shark in that middleweight division, so keep an eye on him. I wouldn't be surprised to see him fight for a title within the next 2 years. And then after that is going to be another fight night with Rafael Fiziev and Mateus Gamrot. That's actually kind of pretty good for a fight night, if you ask me. It's a lightweight division bout. Let me jump back one more time. Is that women's flyweight Grasso versus Shevchenko 2? That is going to be September 16th. Main card starts at 10 p.m. I'm probably not going to pay attention to this. I do want to see again the main and the co-main, but I'm not going to stay up for that. Then the fight night with Fazeev and Gamrot is September 23rd. Main card starts at 7 p.m., so I'll more than likely be able to watch the entirety of this thing if I'm not doing something else. With some cool names on the card. I mean, the Rafael Fazeev Mateus Gamrot fight is definitely going to be sick. The co-main with Bryce Mitchell and Dan Ige is going to be nasty. There's a featherweight fight with Charles Jourdain on the card. He's pretty fucking good fun to watch. The prelim card. I'm not really seeing anything. They have Muhammad Usman on the card. Oh my god, watching that guy fight is crazy. He's a fucking monster. Um, and obviously he's Kamaru Usman's brother, but him in the heavyweight division, if he gets a couple wins under his belt, he's definitely going to be skyrocketed up there. Hannah Goldie's on the card. Haven't seen her fight in a while. She is definitely in need of a win. And if you guys don't know her, she is gorgeous, but she's on a little bit of skid. Yeah, she last year she got either knocked out or TKO by Molly McCann, so she only had one fight last year. 2021, she went 1-1, and then 2019 she lost. So she's not been in the best shape for the UFC. So I think if she loses this, she'll probably get kicked out. But I mean, she's like a really like big name in terms of like female mixed martial arts because she's like super attractive. So they probably don't want to just get rid of her, but you never really know. Let's see. And then another UFC fight night on October 7th. They haven't really fleshed out too much because there's no way the main event is an Ion Cutelaba fight. So we'll see. Another fight night of Sadiq Yusuf and Edson Barboza. That might be interesting. I'm not really sure. And then 294, which is going to be the next big card, October 21st. I believe this is at the Etihad Arena. Yeah, this is going to be at the Etihad in Dubai. So hopefully the timing is going to be perfect for me to watch this on a Saturday morning or afternoon. But it's got Islam Makhachev versus Charles Oliveira, gonna be crazy. You got Hamzat Chimaev versus Paulo Costa. It's gonna be fucking absolutely insane. If Hamzat beats Paulo, he's definitely within the top 10. We got Nasruddin Imavov versus Ikram Aleskarov. That's gonna be a dope fight. Magomed Ankalaev against Johnny Walker is gonna be dope. And then this Tim Elliott Mohammed Mokaev fight. I'm not really sure, but after that we got a Curtis Blades Jalton Almeida fight. 295 is the John Jones Stipe fight. I mean, we're all just waiting on this. I mean, is the co-main really Jessica Andrade versus Mackenzie Dern? Maybe it is. I don't know. Ooh, Derek Brunson, Romy Delite is on the card. Okay, got some cool stuff on this card. I got a Brendan Allen, Paul Craig fight night. That's pretty cool. Supposed to be at the Apex. Interesting. All right, well, that's gonna be it for the UFC. That is kind of it for that. I mean, I already spent like 13 minutes on it, so next we'll jump into the NFL. This one might be a longer episode just because I need to make sure that I get everything in here. So for week one, I'll just go through the games of week one really quickly. Lions Chiefs, I did not expect the Lions to beat the Chiefs. Everyone was saying, oh, the Lions look really good this year, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, there's no way they're beating the Chiefs at Arrowhead, but I guess they did. They beat them by one. Final score was 21-20. Definitely wouldn't have expected that. So if I had put money down on that, I would have lost. Speaking of loss, the Browns beat the Bengals 24-3, which I did not expect. I was watching a majority of these games via Red Zone, yesterday. I was really confused with what the Bengals were doing. It was like, raining and like crappy conditions, but still the Bengals just look absolutely terrible. So I would have went with the Bengals on there, so I would have lost. Ravens shit all over the Texans, 25-9. I expected that. Vikings lost to the Buccaneers, 20-17 in Minnesota. I would have expected the Vikings to win that just because the Buccaneers, yes, they still have Mike Evans, but they don't have Tom Brady anymore. They have Baker Mayfield as their quarterback. Not saying anything against Baker. I actually like him. I like that he's on the team. But he threw for 173 yards with 2 tuds, no interceptions. So he actually played pretty well. And he had 8 carries for 11 yards. So he actually played pretty well. So good for him. I like to see that. I like to see the comeback. Everybody loves a comeback kid. Okay. Falcons beat the Panthers 24-10. Kind of expected that. Commanders beat the Cardinals 20-16. But if you had asked me, I would have thought the Cardinals would beat them. But the Cardinals didn't start Kyler Murray, so it makes sense. Jaguars beat the Colts 31-21. I'm pretty sure Trevor Lawrence had a great game. Let me look at the stats really quickly. Yeah, Trevor Lawrence threw for 241 yards with 2 tuds and 1 INT. It kind of happens. Travis Etienne Jr. obviously had the majority of the carries, 18 carries and 1 tud. The receiving core, you got Calvin Ridley. They got that kid Zay Jones in there too, who's going to be supposedly he's the next best thing there. So keep an eye out for that. Colts are definitely on fire. So I don't really care because I don't care about the organization. I don't really care about that. 49ers absolutely mushroom stomped the Steelers 30-7. I knew the Steelers were going to lose, but I didn't think it was going to be by that much of a margin. So Niners looking insane. I'm pretty sure Brock Purdy 220 yards with 2 tuds. Yeah, Christian McCaffrey with 22 carries, 152 yards and only 1 tud. He's an absolute workhorse. So if you guys have him on your fantasy team, definitely lucky with that pick. And then with the receiving core, Brandon Ayuk, this new guy on the team, looks absolutely crazy. They barely even used Deebo Samuel or George Kittle because they just mostly went to Brandon Ayuk, and he had 129 yards and 2 tuds, so it makes sense. Feed that man the ball. And then what else we got going on here? Some games. Saints beat the Titans 16-15. Pretty surprising. I mean, Titans, Ryan Tannehill threw 0 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. So, and now Derek Carr is now on the Saints. He went 305 yards for 1 TD and 1 INT. I honestly, I kind of want to see the Saints play well this year just because I'm a Derek Carr fan. I enjoy him. He went from black and silver to now black and gold, and he looks pretty good in it. So, speaking of black and silver, Raiders beat the Broncos 17-16. This is a lot closer of a game than I really expected. But I mean, if I liked the Raiders last year like I did, I like them even more this year because they have Jimmy Garoppolo, and I'm a big Jimmy Garoppolo fan. I also really like Josh Jacobs. I think he's really fucking nasty. But Jimmy Garoppolo threw for 200 yards with 2 tutties and 1 INT. Actually, not too bad at all. And I mean, they still have Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers, Josh Jacobs. So this team is actually pretty stacked, and they just upgraded in the quarterback department, if you ask me. So be on the lookout for this Raiders team. They're going to be fucking sick. Also, I just don't give a fuck about the Broncos. They had such a bad season last year. I do like Russell Wilson, but it is what it is. Eagles beat my Patriots 25-20. It was an expected loss. I just thought it was going to be a whole lot more of a stomp. So Mac Jones actually played pretty well here, actually, by throwing, I believe he threw for 316 yards, 3 tuds, and 1 INT. So the INT sucks, but 316 yards and 3 tutties is really, really fucking good, especially for the first game of the year against a stacked defense like the Eagles. So good for him. Rams beat the Seahawks 30-13. This game was actually really slow at the beginning of the game, and then it just kind of picked up at the end, I guess, in the second half. But yeah, I was for the longest time, I was this game is a stinker. But Matty Stafford did not throw a single tutty, but he threw it for 334 yards. So he's kind of really getting back into the groove here. I guess they just killed him with the running game. And the Seahawks, Geno Smith, only 112 yards, 1 tud. What can you do? Seahawks, they were kind of surprised last year, but I'm expecting them not to look so good this year. Dolphins beat the Chargers in an absolute barn burner, 36-34. Tua Tagovailoa, 466 yards, 3 tuds, and an INT. Holy shit. Tyreek Hill with 215 yards and 2 tuds. So if you guys have Tua or Tyreek on your fantasy team, you are fucking looking handsome. And then the Chargers, Justin Herbert threw 228 and 1 tud. Nothing to sneeze at, but it looks like it was the running game that really got them going. So if you guys are a fan of defensive football, then definitely don't go back and watch that game. But if you are a fan of high-flying offense, definitely watch the Dolphins-Chargers game back. The Packers, without Aaron Rodgers, beat the Bears 38-20. kind of extending the dominance of the Packers over the Bears. Jordan Love, 245 with 3 tuds. He actually, living up to the namesake. I mean, the Packers still have a lot of good players like A.J. Dillon, Aaron Jones. So, you know, what do you expect? Justin Fields, 216, 1 tutty, and 1 INT, so he didn't play terrible. He also had the most rushing yards with 59, so they couldn't get the running game off the ground. Khalil Herbert is still like their best running back, but I guess he just didn't get a whole lot going on. Um, Darnell Mooney, their best, I think that's a QB or the Ugh. Their wide receiver one. He only had 4 receptions, so I don't know what was going on. I didn't really watch that game back too much, but it is what it is. And then I watched a decent amount of this Cowboys Giants game. The Cowboys absolutely crap all over the Giants, 40-0. Dak Prescott for 143 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. A rushing game was where it was at, and then also the defense. The defense had 2 defensive touchdowns. So take that as you will. The Giants absolutely look like dog shit. Daniel Jones, 104 yards with 2 INTs. That's a problem. Saquon Barkley only 51 yards rushing and 12 yards receiving. So I don't really care about either of these teams, but the worse that some teams do in the league, the better that the teams I like are going to look. So, it is what it is. And then tonight, obviously, we have the Bills-Jets game. So we're going to get into predictions. So we'll do week 1, Bills, Jets. I can't bet against the Bills, so I have to do it. So I'm going Bills here. I think it's going to be a closer game than people expect because now they have Aaron Rodgers on the Jets, and the Jets really do have a decent team built together, which is weird as it sounds to say, but I just have to go with it. And then let's get into our week 2 predictions and kind of fly through these. So week 2, we've got Vikings, Eagles. Judging off of what I just saw from the Vikings, I'm giving it to the Eagles. Ravens, Bengals, same thing. The Ravens looked, not incredible, but they looked significantly better than the Bengals did. Seahawks, Lions. I hate to say this, but I'm going with the Lions because the Seahawks didn't look like a complete team, and the Lions actually just beat the Chiefs. So Colts Texans, that's going to be a dog shit game. If you're going to skip one this coming Sunday, that is the game to skip. I guess I go. Damn. I'm going to go Texans here, even though it's hard for me to bet with the Texans because they're such a dog shit team, but the Colts look just as bad. Bears Buccaneers is actually an interesting game to look at, so that's a game to keep an eye on. I'm actually going to go Bears here just because I don't think the Bucks have it all together yet. Chiefs Jaguars is actually going to be a dope game, but I'm giving it to the Chiefs. They're going to be mad coming off of a loss. Packers Falcons is another, a lot of good matchups already. Packers Falcons. I'm going to give it to the Pack. Just based off of namesake alone. Raiders Bills is a good matchup. I have to go with the Bills, even if they lose against the Jets on week 1. Chargers Titans. I don't know what happened with the Titans. They just didn't look like they had it together. Chargers looked like they put up a better game, so I'm going to put the Chargers down. Niners, Rams, 49ers look absolutely unstoppable right here, so I'm giving it to the Niners. It's going to be the Battle of the Bay Area here, Battle of California. So Niners, and that's in LA at SoFi Stadium. Cardinals, Giants, that's going to be another bad game, but I think I'm going to give it. I don't know who's starting for the Cardinals here. Ooh, ow. I just hit my nose ring. I don't know who's starting for the Cardinals here, but if it's Kyler Murray, I'm going to say Cardinals win. So I'm going to go off of that notion. I'm going to go Cardinals. What else do we have? Jets Cowboys, and that's in Dallas, I'm going Cowboys just based off of the game they just played. Commanders, Broncos. I think the Broncos still look like shit, so I'm going to go Washington Commanders here. I think they have a better defense anyway. Dolphins, Patriots. I think the Dolphins are going to shit all over the Patriots, unfortunately. It's in. Is this in Miami? No, it's in Gillette. So the Patriots playing their first two games in New England, which is good for them. But um, with the points that the Dolphins just put up, I think the Patriots don't have the defense to back that. Saints Panthers. I'm going Saints here because I'm a Derek Carr guy. And then Browns Steelers looks like kind of another stinker game, but that's okay. I'll go with the Browns here. All right, so for the Monday night game, which is going to be tonight, it's Bills Jets. I'm going Bills because if I had to put my bank account on, I would go Bills every time. Then for week 2, I'm just going to give the winners predictions that I'm giving. So it's going to be Eagles, Ravens, Lions, Texans, which sounds stupid, Bears, Chiefs, Packers, Bills again, Chargers, 49ers, Cardinals, Cowboys, Commanders, Dolphins, Saints, and the Cleveland Browns. So we'll save this and we'll bring it back. We got some cool matchups coming up. So that's going to be it for the NFL portion here. So everything else I'll just go into pretty quickly. NBA season. When does this start? NBA season starts October 24th, so keep an eye out on that. So not too long here. NHL season start is going to be November 16th. Keep an eye on that. I'm very excited for that. And then we're going to go over some Premier League games pretty quickly here. Any good matchups? I didn't get to watch any as of yesterday or Saturday, but anything good? Man City beat Fulham 5-1. Jesus Christ. Nottingham Forest beat Chelsea 1-0. That's crazy. Tottenham beat Burnley 5-2. Crystal Palace 3-2 over Wolves. Liverpool 3-0 over Aston Villa, and Arsenal beat Man United 3-1. So that past game on the Sunday was probably the best match to actually watch. Who scored here? Martin, Declan, and Gabriel Jesus. So Arsenal dominating again. Take a look at the standings really quickly. Man City, Tottenham, Liverpool, West Ham, and Arsenal are your top 5. Kind of expected here. West Ham not so much. I mean, the season just started, so I would expect West Ham to drop out of this and Man United to rise up, but Man United looks like they're struggling. Taking a look at matches for next week, match day 5. Anything good here? Man United's playing Brighton, so this is definitely a turnaround game for them. Yeah, this match day 5 is a little bit of a weak stinker, but West Ham versus Man City is probably the best game or best match on the lineup. So that's going to be about it for that. I also wanted to go over League of Legends really quickly. The LEC Finals just finished up. I watched the entirety of it, and it was actually really good. As you would expect, G2 beat Fnatic 3-1. Looked like it was going to be a 3-0, but Fnatic ended up grabbing a game, so good for them. Let's take a look at the World's Play-In really quickly. You get a cool draw here. So first round is going to be Gigabyte Marines versus LLL, which is Loud. So you got the Brazilians versus the Vietnamese in a cool matchup. Then you have PSG versus R7. So you got the PCS versus the Latin American teams. So this is the bracket stage, which is going to be, I guess, built out to see who goes into the play-ins after that, and then they're going to do another draw. So I'll do more about this a little bit later, but it was just basically G2 beating Fnatic to get into the Worlds qualification for the first seed. And let me grab a sip of water here really quickly. All right, so looking at the world's, where are we? World Championship. Here we go. So your teams coming out of each region. Korea in order: Genji, T1, KT, and Damwon. China in order: JDG, BLG, LNG, Weibo. Europe: G2, Fnatic, Mad Lions. North America: NRG, Cloud9, Team Liquid. And your play-in stage teams are PSG Talon, CTBC Flying Oyster, Gigabyte Marines, Team Wales, Detonation Focus Me, Loud, Movistar R7, and then whatever team wins in the World's qualifying series, which is either going to be Golden Guardians or Team BDS. That match is going to be determined on October 9th, apparently. Okay, so I guess we'll see how that goes. Um, all in Korea, of course. And then the play-in stage is pretty cool because it's got two brackets, and then it's also got a loser's bracket for each one. So you're gonna get 5 matches out of each bracket stage, so 10 matches total, and then you're gonna have qualifying matches, which is gonna be 2 matches in general. So it's going to be for the qualifiers, it's seed 1 and then seed 2 of each one. So it's gonna be interesting for sure. Definitely gonna be cool because there's gonna be a lot of games this year to watch. I'm super excited. I think the Chinese team is gonna be absolutely fucking crazy. The world's setup this year is gonna be nuts for the Swiss stage. So I did an infographic for the Swiss stage. So it's everyone's going to be put into a, as you can see on the left-hand side here, if you're just listening, on the left-hand side, there's going to be one large best of one. Everyone just plays each other once, and then from there, based on how many times, how many games you won or whatever, you get seeded into 2 pools, and the 2 pools are going to be based on like probably like a winners and a losers, it looks like, because this one says 1-0 and this one says 0-1. So whoever, they're going to go and play each other there, and then from there it's going to break up into 3 pools. So okay, I'm stupid. The way it works is everyone's going to go in 0-0, and they're all going to play just one game, and then from there, the teams who went 1-0 are all going to play each other, and the teams who went 0-1 are all going to play each other, and then it breaks up even more from there. So there's going to be 2 teams that are 2-0, they're going to play each other. There's going to be 4 teams that are 1-1, they're going to play each other, and there's 2 teams that are going to be 0-2 who are going to play each other. So it's kind of just like an elimination like chamber thing. So then after that, it's going to be 3 teams that are 2-1 are going to play each other, and then 3 teams who are 1-2 are going to play each other. And then at the end, all the 2-2 teams are going to be, okay, that makes sense. So in this like third round portion here, first and second is going to be determined here, and then the teams that are 2-1, so it's going to be dropping off. So it's what, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12. So after that, it's 6 and 6, 12. Okay, they're just going to chunk it up even more. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, we'll see how it plans out. It's probably going to make more sense once it starts happening, but as of right now, it's like hard for me to like explain and like hard for me to like wrap my head around. So basically, the stage 1 is going to be the play-ins where 8 teams come out, or 8 teams go in and only 2 teams come out. And then stage 2 is the Swiss stage, where 16 teams participate, and then only 8 teams are going to come out of that. So then stage 3 is the knockout stage, which is 8 teams, and it's going to be a single elimination bracket, best of 5. So it's going to be an 8-team best of 5. So, Jesus, that was way more complicated than it needed to be, but we'll see what happens. I mean, it's going to be good chances for a lot of teams to do some upsets here, so I'm excited to see that. But that'll be it for the League of Legends portion. And then for the ESL CSGO portion, I just want to stop on that really quickly. There's actually a game going on right now of Greyhound versus Ignis Serpens. I don't even know what the fuck that is. But just checking to see, because it's Season 18 of the ESL Pro League currently. And the winner gets auto qualified for Katowice 2014, and then Blast World Final 2023, which is going to be dope because that is December. That's also in Abu Dhabi as well. That's pretty cool. Teams already qualified for that are Heroic, Vitality, FaZe Clan, and G2 Esports, and those are all like insane teams right now. So definitely gonna be sick. It's apparently only 8 teams. Maybe maybe not. Maybe more teams. Wait, what? No, it's 8 teams. Okay, never mind. But that's gonna be sick to watch. And then for the ESL, let's take a look quickly at who is looking good right now. Games coming up, upcoming matches. There's only one match today, and then any cool upcoming matches? No, not really. All right, let's take a look. Your qualified teams are Vitality, Movistar, Astralis, Furia, Ents, Big, Mouse, Monte. And then you have the Group C teams, which need to be determined, and Group D teams. God, these are all so long, but they have so many matches going on so often that it's like, holy shit. But Vitality, obviously one of the top teams in the world. Definitely gonna be dope. But what else do we have here? So these teams. What is the game that's currently on right now? It is not on here. So maybe it's just a different game. Maybe it's not ESL right now. It's something else. Huh. Weird. But I'll keep you guys updated on that. I'm still trying to understand how the brackets work and all this shit, but not a big deal. It's just, interesting to watch and like cool stuff to keep current with. But I think that's gonna be it, guys. I don't have a whole lot else to talk about. I haven't really been watching any anime or reading any manga. I'll probably be catching up this week. I know I said that last week, but I'm going to try this week. So that's going to be it for me. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe. All of my links down in the description below. This is the Backed by Bone podcast, episode 45. I'll see you guys next week. It's probably going to be coming out on Sunday, probably before this Sunday night game maybe, or maybe I'll just start switching to Mondays so I can actually do the Monday night game again. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm going to be more consistent. I'm going to try not to miss a week, especially during football season, and then basketball and hockey. It's coming up very, very fucking soon. So thank you guys so much. Appreciate you. I'll catch you next week.